Hi students, today I am going to explain what is endocrine system for class 8 students. So here it contains hormones, glands, what is adolescence and accompanying changes. So messages among animals are communicated through nerve impulses. So whatever are the messages in our body, they are carried by nerves by nerve impulses. So these nerve impulses reach only those tissues or cells which are connected by the nervous tissue. So these impulses will be only carried to the tissues or cells which are connected by the nervous tissue, but other tissues it will not be transmitted. So moreover, cells cannot continuously generate and transmit the electrical impulses through the body. So cells cannot continuously generate this and transmit the electrical impulses. So what happens, we want one more method to release the chemicals in our body. So that is nothing but the cells release certain chemicals in the blood streams which are detected by receptor molecules in other cells. So cells will release some chemicals which will be detected by receptor cells. Receptor means receiving cells which receive the messages and tissues. In this way, the chemicals are used for intercommunication in cells. So there are two types of communication. What are they? One we already told as nerve impulses. The nerve impulses will be carried from the receiver cells to all the body parts only which want that nerve impulses. And one more is chemicals. These are produced by the cells and the receptor cells will receive this. But what is the difference between these two are the nerve impulses will be carried only to the cells which are needed. It will not go all to the body. But the chemicals which are released, it will be spread to all the parts of the body. Let's see here. So messages are transmitted and chemicals produce their effects. So messages are transmitted and chemicals produce their effects accordingly. Hence, even those cells which are not connected to nervous tissue communicate with this help of chemicals. So these chemicals which are produced in this will be spread. These chemicals will be spread to all the cells which are not connected to the nervous tissue also. And these chemicals are called hormones. And the specialized tissue which secrete these hormones are called endocrine glands. So, and the endocrine glands present in the body is called endocrine system. Let's see. First, hormones. What are hormones? That is what I told, chemicals which is released. The hormones are defined as the messenger chemicals secreted by endocrine glands into the bloodstream. So these are the message chemicals which are produced by endocrine glands, and it will be gone to the blood and it will reach the target molecules in order to regulate the biological process in the living organisms. So with the help of blood, it will reach the wherever is the target organ is there, target molecules, there it will reach. Here who is carrying these hormones? Blood. So blood acts as a carrier of hormones from their production site to their target site. So from where it produces to the target site, blood will carry it. The target cells contain receptor molecules. So the target cells where it should go, the target cells contain receptor molecules. Receptor means it will receive the message on their surface within the cytoplasm. These are specific proteins which can identify the relevant hormones. These receptor molecules have one special protein, so it will know. So it has to receive that hormone and what to do with that. So, and further action. The action of hormone changes the shape of the receptor molecules. Whenever the hormone comes, it will change the shape of the molecule. These changes the various changes occurs in the cell. It must be noted that main function of hormone is, what is the main function of this hormone? To accelerate, means to increase or inhibit, to reduce some chemical process in our body. So it will not concerned with the energy supply. So it is energy is not needed for this process. What are the characteristics of hormones? Let's see. These are the special chemical messengers. So they are secreted by endocrine glands. They are directly poured into the blood. So blood will carry it and they are acts on the specific organ or tissue, and that is called target organ. So these are the characteristics. Then next is glands. A gland is basically a cell or a tissue or an organ which secretes different chemicals or substances at different sites in the body. So the glands are different types: endocrine glands, exocrine glands, heterocrine glands. Let's see what are endocrine glands. Endocrine glands means these are the glands which pass their secretion into the surroundings or into the bloodstream directly. So it will release the chemicals directly into the blood. So they are transported to the place where it needs. These are concerned with the secretion of hormones. Since endocrine glands lack ducts, they won't have ducts. So they are also called ductless glands. So the endocrine glands are present in different parts of the body. They are like hypothalamus gland, pituitary gland, pineal gland, next thyroid, parathyroid, pancreas, adrenal, testes, ovary. So many glands are there, and they don't have ducts, so they are ductless glands. For example, pancreas will secrete digestive enzymes, and testes and ovary will produce gametes, male and female gametes. And hormones are also involved in the regulation of several functions like growth, metabolic activities, and reproduction. So endocrine glands are simply the glands which release chemicals and pass into the blood, and they don't have any ducts. So these are endocrine glands. Let's see what is exocrine glands. These contain ducts. In endocrine glands, no ducts. Here it contains ducts. So these are the glands which possess ducts to pass their secretions to the surface of the body or in the cavities. For example, liver, sweat glands, sebaceous glands, gastric glands, salivary glands. These are all exocrine glands. Let's see. So liver will produce bile juice, sweat glands sweat, sebaceous glands will produce oil, gastric glands will produce gastric juice, salivary glands will produce saliva. So like this they will secrete mucus, enzymes, excretory substances, lubricants, like this. Then we understood what is exocrine glands. Then next is heterocrine glands. Both endocrine and exocrine, both mixed. Yes, no, they means like exocrine glands, they are sent through ducts, and like endocrine glands, they are passed to the blood. Both are there in heterocrine glands. Let's see the difference between these two. Endocrine glands don't have ducts. Exocrine contain ducts. They usually occur in isolation, means single. They will not occur in isolation. Yes, no ducts. Only one saliva gland will be there. No. Or one sweat gland will be there. No. So they will not occur in isolation. These gland will pour the secretion into the circulatory system through blood. Yes, no. Here it will go into the target directly through ducts. Here the target site will be very far from the endocrine glands. The blood will carry it. Here it will be very near. Then secretion consists of hormones or informational molecules. The secretions contain enzymes, mucus, excretory substances, lubricants, etc. So this is about endocrine and exocrine glands. Then next is pituitary gland. So the pituitary gland, hypophysis, is located below the brain. So the pituitary gland is present below the brain. Here we can see below the brain. So what it will do, let's see. Pituitary gland. This is a pea-shaped small gland attached with hypothalamus by an infundibulum. So this very small pea-shaped gland, it will be attached with the hypothalamus by one infundibulum. So what it contains, what hormones it will release, let's see. Human growth hormone. So growth, the name only it is telling, it includes in the growth of body cells, bones of limbs. It stimulates protein synthesis and inhibits proteins breakdown. So it will help in the use of our energy, blood glucose, for growing, and retards the use of blood glucose for ATP production. It will reduce the glucose for producing ATP and increases for the use of growth. So target organ is nothing, generally all the body parts it will grow. Then thyroid stimulating hormone. So it will control the secretion of thyroid hormones. So thyroid glands are the target organs. Next, adrenocorticotropic hormone. It will secrete the adrenal cortex hormones, and the target organ is adrenal cortex. Next is melanocytic stimulating hormone. We know that if we go in sun we will become black. Why? Because of this stimulating hormone. It will stimulate the cutaneous pigmentation. It will help in producing pigmentation in control of reproduction. So target organ is melanocytes in skin. Then prolactin in males it will be produced. It will help to stimulate spermatogenesis to produce sperms, and in females to produce follicles, growth of various follicles. So the target organs are mammary glands. Then follicle stimulating hormones in females, it will trigger ovulation, ovules to produce ovules. It will be present in gonads. Then luteinizing hormone, so it will help in the contraction of uterine muscles. So during the birth of baby, so the uterine muscles will contract, and it also helps in ejection of milk, producing of milk in the mothers. So this and the target organ is gonads. Then oxytocin, it will help in the absorption of water. So from the, we know that in digestive system large intestine will again reabsorb the water. Like this, it will help in the reabsorption of water, so that urine secretion will be reduced. Again it will be, the target organ is mammary glands. Then antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin, it will stimulate constriction of blood vessels. So the blood vessels, which will not allow the blood vessels to become very narrow, and so that the blood will be passed very freely. So it will increase blood pressure. The target organ is kidneys. So what happens if the pituitary gland does not work properly? So dwarfism, if the growth hormone is not secreted properly, hyposecretion means very less secretion, so then they will become dwarf, means short people. Gigantism, if more it is produced, then they will become very long. So elongation of long bones, long legs, long hands, like this. So they will become long people. Then diabetes insipidus. So very less production of vasopressin. Here I told what is vasopressin. Yes, no. Vasopressin, it will, the blood vessels will not be allowed to constrict. So blood pressure will become more. So it leads to the reduced renal absorption of water and elimination of large volume of very dilute urine. So urine will become very dilute and it will be going. Then blood pressure. So again vasopressin, constriction of blood vessels. So here what happens, more vasopressin is produced, so that what happens, the arteries, arterioles and so arterial blood pressure will become more, because the arteries will become constricted, it will be blocked. So these are the disorders: dwarfism, gigantism, diabetes insipidus and blood pressure. Next is thyroid gland, very important gland. This is the largest endocrine gland. So this is the largest endocrine gland and is situated in the neck. It secretes two hormones, T4 and T3. Thyroxine, triiodothyroxine. So thyroid gland, it is present in the neck. So it stores its secretion in large quantities. So for this we want iodine. If we eat iodized salt more, so then thyroxine will be produced. So let's see where it is. See, thyroid gland in the neck. Then what is the function of thyroid gland? It will help to increase the metabolic rate of the body and also the growth of body tissues, physical growth, mental development. All this will be produced. All this will be made with the help of thyroid gland. If the thyroid is produced very less, then because of iodine deficiency, we'll get goiter. A disease called goiter. Our neck will become very big. Yes, no? So that is called goiter. Then hyperthyroidism, more it is produced than needed, then it will result in Graves' disease. Means their eyes will become very swollen. So and high metabolic rate will be there. So that is called Graves' disease. Then next is adrenal glands. There are two conical pyramid shaped glands. So there are two conical pyramid shaped glands above each kidney. So they are called adrenal glands. So above each kidney there will be conical shaped glands. They are called adrenal glands or suprarenal glands. There are two conical pyramid shaped glands above each kidney. They are called adrenal glands. So what are the hormones produced by adrenal glands? Let's see. Mineralocorticoids. So minerals it will produce. So it will control electrolyte and water metabolism in our body. So it increased the blood levels of Na plus and water. The target cell is kidneys. Glucocorticoids. It will raise the blood glucose level. So resistance to long-term stress by allergic response. So because of allergy, so it will resist to long-term stress. So it is produced in liver. Then sex corticoids, development of secondary sexual characters. The target organs are gonads. Adrenaline, it is also called emergency hormone. So it will, what are the actions it will do is, it will help, it will raise the blood glucose level, BP, blood pressure, and stress responses imitates. So what are the target cells? Smooth cardiac muscles, blood vessels. Then neuroadrenaline, it will stimulate reactions similar to same like adrenaline only. So the hyposecretion of glucocorticoids, if glucocorticoids are less released, and monocorticoids if they are less released, then they will get Addison's disease, means blood sugar will be low, salt levels, minerals level will be low, low plasma, Na plus like this. Then adrenaline, it is also called triple F hormone, fright, fight and flight hormone, because in emergency situations this hormone will release. It will help to act accordingly. So we can fright, will get frightened, or we will just fight to the situation, or we will just flight, we will just go run off from the situation. Either way we can react because of this hormone released. Then next is pancreas. This is both endocrine gland and exocrine gland, like heterocrine gland, right? So exocrine cells secrete pancreatic juices during digestion process, and endocrine cells secrete alpha cells like glucagon, beta cells like insulin, gamma cells like somatostatin. So it is represented by islets of Langerhans. So what are the disorders of pancreas? Diabetes mellitus. So if the insulin is produced very less, then what is the problems? They have excessive urination, high blood glucose level, in the blood more glucose level. They will not get healed with any injury or cuts. If any injury or cuts happens, it will not get healed properly. It will take long time. Then hypoglycemia. So if there is more insulin production, then blood glucose will be very less, always sweating, hunger, like this. So these are the disorders of pancreas. Thank you.